Hi, my name is Shelley Immel with the Big Life Project. I started the project to help people focus on leading more meaningful, more joyful lives. My guest today is Tina Sabuco. Tina has background in drama and in dance, and she blended those interests and passions to start her company Arts Alive in 1994. Arts Alive offers an integrated, expressive arts program which combines drama, creative movement, music, and more. And her students range from babies with their parents to seniors with Alzheimer's, dementia, and other special needs populations, and everyone in between. In Tina's programs, everyone can dance and everyone can play. Tina, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Shelley. Hello.
That is hands down the best entrance ever by somebody to the Big Life Project.
This is my little paper doll Tina that I made at our Girl Scouts. I am now a Girl Scout leader for a special needs troop, and they're not actually girls. They are women ages 35 to almost 70 that have been Girl Scouts for a very long time. And this was our first project that we did. We all made ourselves. Here's my partner Shelley
with the overalls. Excellent.
Yeah, of course. And then we hooked ourselves together for our first day. So those are the fun kind of things I do. And thank you for having me, Shelley.
I think we're going to have a lot of fun today, Tina.
We always do, don't we?
We do. All right. Well, let's jump on in. And yes, I think we should have more of those, like, all the way through the program.
Absolutely. I have a question. I'll before I answer, I'll do that.
Excellent. Alrighty. Well, so,
I have my fun necklace on.
Oh, I like them.
And my little antlers.
Mm-hmm.
And I even have people. Can you see that? Everybody out there?
Just
They're
a
going,
little bit.
Yay! Back to you.
Back to me. Yeah, one of the great things about playfulness is it's very inclusive. You know, it invites people to do it with you, and it's one of the big reasons I want to do a lot more of it. So,
everybody should.
Everybody should.
So
we'll jump right into the question. So, a lot of people put play on the back burner as they get older for lots of different reasons. But your motto is, I happen to know, you don't stop playing because you get older. You get older because you stop playing. So when did you figure that out, and how does that guide you? How has it guided you, and how does it guide you now in your life?
Well, actually, one of the things you just said is people put play on a back burner as they get older. Sadly, more and more kids put play on a back burner a lot too, in two different ways. They are very interested just in, this and not thinking out of the box and doing video games or watching TV more and more and more, and now they're not even communicating face-to-face with each other anymore. The other thing that happens that I've seen with kids is, they're almost made to be an adult so quickly because they are not, it's let's go to this lesson, let's go to that lesson, let's go to this lesson, soccer practice. I mean, it's just amazing. And so it's not only adults that are putting it on the back burner. Mm-hmm. And some of those things are great for playing, that I just mentioned, the different lessons and things like that. But lots of times it's about perfection and doing it right. And I've taught so many students that they don't know how to play because they want to get it right. Mm-hmm. And it's not about right with us. So with us, my company, Arts Alive, and me. I would say that adults that are putting it on a back burner, it's not just on the back burner that they're putting it. It's never going to come about unless you start to do it. And so, it doesn't need to be blowing bubbles and making paper dolls and wearing funny things. It can just be doing something little that you have always wanted to do. Take an art class or, go take a ballroom class or, it doesn't even need to be arts oriented. It could be, go out in nature if you don't always go out in nature. Just something that is different and out of the ordinary will get you on that track.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're going to talk a lot more about that as we go through this. How do we play more?
Yes.
So those are some things you said, well, people can do, but what are some of your favorite ways to play when you're alone and when you're in groups?
Well, I'm looking around me. So my favorite ways to play, I have so many of them. I love to play games. I always have loved to play games. My dad loved to play games with me, so I think that's where that comes from. I'm always I'm going to do this a lot, I feel, making people play games with me, even when they don't know they're going to play a game with me. They'll say, this is a perfect example. A friend will say, hey, guess who I saw? And I'm like, oh, yay, a game. And they're like, oh.
I get to guess.
Like, no, just, I'm going to tell you. It's like, no. It's like, okay, is it male or female? So then I'll start. And they'll know. I have certain friends that now they know. They can't just say that with me because it's a game immediately. I love to, even when I'm going to sleep or if I wake up in the middle of the night, I have a game that I play. And I'm telling everybody out there, if you have problems sleeping or if you wake up in the middle of the night, this is a surefire way to go back to sleep immediately. It's called the alphabet game. And all you need to do is pick a theme. You've probably done this before, some of you. Let's say the theme is birds. And then you have to go through the alphabet and think of a bird that starts with each one. So it's, A, Shelley, an A bird, American eagle, B, bluebird, C, catbird. So it's amazing because you get stuck like pretty much immediately. One gets stuck, and then it's like counting sheep. You just drift off into sleep so quickly. And so everybody out there that's going to watch us, please try it and let me know. You'll be able to contact me, and I can't wait to see if my game has helped you go to sleep. But not all my games are about sleeping. I love getting together with people. Anytime there's an opportunity where it's like just talking. I mean, to me, just socializing with people is something that is so fun to do, and it's almost, it's playful to me. Parties, Shelley, is a very big thing in my life. In Arts Live, we give parties, or we don't give them, but we go to people's parties and help them with their birthday parties or whatever kind of party. But I would say ever since I was born, or I was one, my parents gave me really fun parties, and I just inherited that with parties. So I'm 50. I'll be 52 in October, and when I turned 50, the theme was Tina in Wonderland, and it was very fun because everybody had to come in a costume, and they could either come as a character from Alice in Wonderland, or they could come dressed as me. So that was very, very fun. There was a whole group of Tinas in all different types of my life, and it was so fun because if you didn't come in costume, we had a Mad Hatter area, and the Mad Hatter gave a hat, or you got to borrow a hat for the night. But most people came in costume, and I was just blown away at how much people really embraced it and how much fun we had. There were lots of areas to play. You could play chess. You could be in the caterpillar's lair. That's where these came from for the hookah. And you could play at the tables. There were cards, and it was all about play. So actually, I've never really thought about that, Shelley, that my birthday party was all about play.
And dancing and contests and all sorts of variations on those.
Many contests, yes. It was very fun. And prizes, fun to give. I love to give things. I love to find just the right thing for people and give it to them, or make it as a prize. I find that very rewarding, and it's another form of play for me because it's a game. Finding the right thing. Everything's a game.
Well, and one of the things you said, people know now. They can't just say, hey, guess something.
Guess what?
And people come to your party and they embrace your theme. They embrace the way that you want to play.
Yes.
I would bet that many of those people would do it more going to your party than they would to somebody else. They know you, and they're coming to play with you as well as each other.
They know how bossy I am, and they know that I'll get mad at them. No.
I was thinking more along the lines of They're your friends because they love that about you, and you bring that into their life.
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
But, bossy sometimes too. Sure, a little bit.
We have a second home in Wimberley. It's called Abundance. And speaking of bossy, I love labeling things. Another thing that I inherited from my dad. And so my partner Shelley, when I was doing all the labels and putting up notes, she said, "This is just a way for you to boss people from far away." And I didn't think of that, but it's so true.
She knows you well.
Knows me well. So I'm bossing from far away, but I think I boss in a good way, a fun way. And I like to be bossed too. So, it goes both ways. I like to be, I don't always like to be the boss of the game. I like, hey, where do you want to go to eat? It's like, yeah, I have a million ideas, but I like other people to say it too, because then it's a fun adventure for me. It's always about an adventure, I think. I thought of one other thing about abundance. We have, earlier when I was talking about playing can simply be just going out in nature. In addition to when people come to abundance and they say things like, oh, everything just melted away, and I just felt like even though you weren't there, I was being taken care of, and all of the little things that you put around, the little playful things, like there's a little like cubby under the stairs where we have tools, but it looks like a little door to a gnome's house, so I have a label that says the gnome's house, and if they open it up, of course, there are some gnomes in there, So there's things, and people are always writing about, just when I thought I found everything, I found so many different things. And we counted the acorns, because acorns are one of our little symbols. And, the deer come, and they it's so wonderful because you can tell that you've been caring for them, which is our way of, playing with, the wildlife. And there's canoes and kayaks to go playing in. And it's just, in addition to everybody's worries and stress just melting away, we present them with, and here's how to have fun. And of course, there's a cabinet of games as well.
Of course there is.
Yes.
So, that's exactly the kind of place you would make. It's the place you go. It's the place other people can go, and it's a place to have fun and bring out that part of your life.
Right. Relax and have fun. And do whatever you want to do.
So thinking back a little bit to the work side of things, a lot of people are afraid about combining a creative part of their life that they're passionate about with a way of making a living. And you've done that. It's what you did with Arts Alive. So how does that feel? How's that working out for you, combining your creative passion with your livelihood?
We can't make our parents be anything other than they are. But I had overall very supportive parents. And so I started, taking dance when I was 3 and, in high school got into theater and voice, and they were supportive of that. My mom, even more than my dad. My dad was more like, so, what are you going to go to college for? And neither of them really went to college. I mean, I didn't even know I know this sounds weird, but, when I was in school, I really didn't even know exactly what college meant. I was like, okay, it's just more school. And isn't that funny, to think? And then when I was like, oh, wow, I can do drama in college, or I can be a kindergarten teacher. It's like, yeah, that's where I want to go. Because at first I was like, no, I just want to be a dancer. I don't want to go to college. I just want to, travel the world and be a dancer. But it helps to have supportive parents, but it doesn't make or break the deal. I mean, even if your parents are not supportive and you have a dream, or you're in midlife and it's like, wow, I really wanted to be an artist, but I didn't, it's never too late. And so I would say that part about combining, making a living with actually being playful in your work, there's risk-taking involved, and I think there's not a lot of risk-taking out there sometimes because it's like, people are afraid. People are afraid to not make enough money, whatever enough is to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that just letting things fall in place. I mean, I'm just an advocate for that. Just love what is, whatever. Oh, there's Byron Katie. I have her here. Byron Katie, Loving What Is, one of my Bibles. I love her, so get her book, just in case you haven't already gotten it. And the other thing that, going right along with this, the 4 Agreements. And both of these books have helped me. I did not discover these books until maybe 5-6 years ago at the very most. Mm-hmm. But it really, when I was reading them, it was like, oh, I could have written this, because it's basically just things that, if we really think about, it's like, love what is. You know, if your hair is dark and you want it to be light, so what? You know, just love that, or you change it and then love that, you know. Or if you, so many people complain about their jobs, and they complain about where they live, and I always just think, well, move or get another job. And, you know, I've learned that I shouldn't always say what I'm thinking, because people are like, well, it's not that easy, Tina, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, okay, I just think it sometimes. I don't say it. But it really is that easy if you really think about it, because it's your life. You're living it for you. You're not living it for anybody else. And yes, we do have partners, and yes, we have children or, you know, parents, but it really is about you. So think about what you like and what makes you happy, and that's my advice.
Oh, that's right. We're overdue for bubbles. One of the things I hear in that, Tina, as you say that, is a commitment to be happy, a commitment not to leave yourself in a situation where you are unhappy with it and you're just letting yourself hang in there.
Right.
So that can look like a lot of different things. And sometimes that includes partners, and that includes other families, and that includes other work and all those other things. But the commitment to find a way to be happy.
Right.
Whether it's making other things change or whether it's finding a change in yourself.
And some people, you know, they're not sitting there thinking, I don't want to be happy, but they kind of wallow in their unhappiness, and they like complaining about it. Yeah. I was playing a game the other day. I have a group of people that I get together with, and we play games once a month, and somebody played the who, what, where, when game, and we had to write down a question that started with who, what, where, or when. We put them in a bowl, and then whoever picked a question then answered that particular question. And of course, it was so hard for other people to not answer that question. We all answered it. And one of them was, why do you complain? And I was like, that is so profound. You know, why do I complain? And just thinking about it, it's like, because you want that camaraderie of, you know, so for me, you know, somebody saying, yeah, you know, I know. And I've found that, especially since I've read the books that I was talking about earlier, and since I've aged, sometimes when people start complaining or gossiping with me, I'm thinking like, you know, I don't want a part of that. I want to be supportive in a positive way, but it's like, no, I don't necessarily want to hear about so-and-so or what she did to you, or I really understand that you don't like your job or whatever, but you've been talking about it for 20 years, so let's move on. And just thinking about that, why do we complain? So that's a game. Everybody out there, think of that. Why do you complain? And write into me and tell me.
Because it's a game.
It's a game.
Excellent.